Welcome to the next episode, everybody. Take a look. We're trying to solve a pretty common problem that people with certain types of fuel pumps run into. And you can see this is the Carter original one made in the US, and this is an aftermarket one. And the issue that we're going to run into is your input and outputs. You can see as we're lining them both up. This one's to the side, and then this one's forward. If you flip it around and take a look, one of the things that you'll notice is it has a very similar bolt pattern. I removed this one already, just looking through a few things internally. Very similar to this side here. The only problem that we run into, and we'll flip it back here and I'll show you, this is specific for the Ford people here, 5.8, 5.0. See if I can get it to sit up right here. They have the same bolts, but for some reason, you can see where they put them in from the factory here. These, if you try to just turn, like simply turn this to the side, it won't line up to a bolt with threads. See how there's threads here? Obviously in this one, and then you can see one over here, but there's no threads there, or that one, or even this one. And just looking at it, you can see we need threads here, which lines up with this one. So if you try to turn it and you're trying to retain the original fuel lines, it won't line up because these are rigid. You can see with these flares here. When we take these off and put them in here, it won't line up, and the rigid fuel lines won't bend from the factory, so you'll have to bend some new ones. If you don't want to have to do that, we're going to try something today and see if it works. Obviously, we won't be reusing these threaded sides here, so we'll leave them alone, but we're going to try to tap put some threads in here. So like I said, that's going to match up with this one. That one will match up here. That one over there. And then this will allow us to rotate this guy to the side, matching up with the original one. So let me show you what I've got tool-wise to accomplish this. Not too expensive. This is a tap set. It comes not only with the drill that you need, or the bit, but also comes with the tap. And you can see M5.08. If you're curious on the part number, there you go. But yeah, it's kind of a one-stop shop with this, because a lot of times you have to shop for the bit and the tap. That gets kind of annoying. And then I've already opened up the package here, but this is the handle that you use to tap it. Now I've got some tap magic that I'll show you when I start tapping the threads here. I don't have that on camera, but just keep in mind when we go through this process, we're not gonna, just run the tap in dry here. So what we're gonna do first is, so there's a rubber gasket here, so we don't end up destroying that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this one as is, and I'm gonna unscrew all the screws around here, and then I'm probably gonna fold the rubber out of the way as I'm drilling through it. And then as I tap it, probably the same thing, just keep it folded under. So that's gonna be the plan. And like I said, this is the number you'll need if you're trying to do your fuel pump. So there you go. You can find them on Amazon, probably even on eBay if you're interested. So there you go. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this guy and start tapping. I'm going to drill first these, and then I'm going to tap them. All right, here goes. So one of the things to notice here is one of the holes that you need, right? It needs to be right here, right? Because if you look at this guy, notice how there's a spot for it, right? This one doesn't have it, so it kind of makes you wonder, right? Like if you drill straight down into it, what's going to happen? But if you flip it around, they were nice enough to at least start it. So we'll have to go in there and drill from this angle straight down. We'll take some of our, we talked about earlier, some Tap Magic cutting fluid. So out of all the ones to start with, we'll probably start with the most difficult one here. And you know, obviously if you had a vise or something, you could clamp this in. Probably would be beneficial, but I don't, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't. I have some Tap Magic on the tip of this, so we're just going to take our time. Pretty easy so far. Just taking our time. Just like that, right? Now, since there's shavings there, you want to be kind of careful. Try to get them all away from the rubber, because rubber and the metal are not going to be very nice together. So, all right. Now, if you had some compressed air, it's probably a good time to do some compressed air with it as well. And so we got a little burr in here. Probably need to take that off camera. But anyway, now that that one's drilled, what we're gonna do is we have our tap, and you can see I have some Tap Magic on it already. Now, everywhere that I've looked so far with this, you know, when it comes to tapping stuff, if you've never used one of these before, is every time somebody goes to break one of them, it means the tap itself is because they went too fast. So we're just gonna go nice and slow and let the cutting fluid do its job. Pretty easy, right? You can see it, it's kind of going through there. Nice and slow. And it looks like we may be making our way through. Yes, there we go. Now you can see we got a bunch of metal on the other side. So rather than drag that through, try to clean some of it up here so when we go to back this tap out here, we don't mess it up. Okay, let's go through a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty easy. Again, we'll probably need to clean this out anyway, because you can see some of the filings are getting a little too close for comfort here. Okay. Let's go ahead and back it out. In terms of the type of metal that we're using this on, it's pretty soft. I believe it's kind of like cast. I think it's cast aluminum. Maybe it's cast iron. It's hard to say. But tapping this compared to other stuff has been, this is like almost effortless. The go no go with this, I'll show you here in a second once we get this tap out. See, we can see some fresh threads in there. Try to again wipe these off. All right, you see the screws in the background here? Let's see how we did. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so that is success. All right, so I have the stand and everything, you know, so I could have you all watch me tap that one. There's one right there. We're going to tap that guy. That one right there. And that one right there. You see the process, right? How I'm holding it with my finger. Just make sure you try to keep some of these filings away from the surface. I'm sure over time it'll wear them out. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue tapping the rest of these, and then we'll work on realigning it so it looks like this one. On a skill level, I would say, you know, how to achieve this so far, this is probably beginner. You could definitely do this in your garage. I'm actually on the back of another boat that I've finished years ago. So here we go, our finished product. Take a look. What do you think? The white stuff right there is thread sealant compound right here. You can see we got that. Some people use Teflon on the threads. It's up to you if you want to do that. But take a look at our finished product here. See how now once we've reclocked it, you see how they line up as the original ones did. So that's kind of the whole idea, right, with tapping it. And then you can flip it over here and you can see our holes now line up. The one thing that was kind of different, and you can see right here, getting to that hole, even when I was pulling this one out, it was next to impossible, because you can kind of see, right, there's no way to get to it there, and then it kind of hits the tip right in that area. So there really isn't a good way to put this one. So that's why when I did this new one here, I came at it from the top and then just used, right, I think I used a pair of, or a crescent wrench to kind of tighten it up. And then you can see, like, there's just almost no way to really get in there. So yeah, and then with the new design for the overflow here, it kind of runs into it. So yeah, I just went and used it from the top, but you can see, again, it lines up where the old one did. And this is the solution that I would go with. Just recapping with the things that you'll need. There's some thread sealant right there. I use some Tap Magic as well. And then here is, right, the tap and the drill that it comes with. And you can see, well, kind of flipped it around there, but you can kind of see it's upside down. There you go. So if you need it for your own. If anyone wants this one, I guess I may give it away. What do I need it for? So may hold on to it. And then we've got our handle, T-handle. All in all, I think it's like a few bucks for that, a few bucks for that one, and a few bucks. So you could probably get away with doing the whole thing for $20. And then time-wise, how long did it take to do this? Probably like 15 minutes. So very little effort. Personally speaking, I would rather do this than replumb in new pipe. So that's my thought. So hope you liked the video. This is a solution around the fuel pump not aligning to your original stock pipe, your fuel pipe. So like I said, pretty easy job. Got any questions, comments, leave it in the comments field below. Remember to take this guy off. And as always, leave some questions, comments in the comments field below. If this is the first time you've seen any of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next episode, everybody. All right, take it easy. Have a good one.